Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. There is another change happening to the rating schedules for respiratory conditions. Now, way back in 2022, the VA put in a proposal to change the rating schedules. Now, this affects all kinds of things. The three that they did was respiratory, auditory, and mental health. Those three rating schedules will be changed. They kicked the can down the road. April is kind of the time frame of 2025 for it to go into effect. However, they threw in a whole other change within the change. Now, here's the question. Are they going to make one change final, then change it again? Or are they going to wait and put it all together and make one change? I'm going to talk about that here, bring people up to speed with what's going on and what to look for. Before I do, I want to say a quick thank you to a few people that did the super comments. I really do appreciate those. It means a lot. Thank you so much. And the greatest part is when I can't say the names because I mean, here I am, right? Public school system. All right, so anyway, Janice Fictum, thank you so much, Janice. I really, really appreciate your support. Thank you for that super chat. Janice Fictum, Fictum. Thank you so much. All right, next one is Moon Money 97. That's a great name. Easy for me to say. Moon Money 97. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. And it really does mean a lot. Thank you. And then the last one, this one's kind of long, and I'm going to butcher it, and I'm just going to say I'm sorry if you're watching this. So it's Anne Jane E. Balkas Soon 333. You know what I'm talking about. I'm going to spell it ANJANEEBALKISSOON 333. I'm going to just try to butcher it again because that's really fun. And Jane E. Balkison Soon 333. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate your support. And I know that, it's not the end of the world that I can't speak well. So here we are. Thank you. All right, so let's jump into this. All right, so the big deal here is that, one, we've done a few videos on this, both on my channel, on the joint channel that I have, Veterans Daily with Jay and Clay from the CivDiv, talking about the changes that are coming into effect probably in April of 2025. You never know. They could do it sooner. They could kick it down the road further. Now, these changes are important to be aware of, but the VA on the Federal Register, without really, there's not a lot of talk about it, and that's the problem, and that's why we're here, right? So first, I'm going to just do a quick overview from the VA on their, proposal to change the rating schedule in general. We'll read to you the date of the initial Federal Register stuff, and then this other one, which I did talk about a while ago, but we're going to jump into it anyway. All right, so this is important to give you kind of the timeline, right? So, and remember, these things, the rating schedule changes can take years, 3, 4, 5 years before they actually get implemented. If I remember right, the digestive system rating schedule took about 5 years to go into effect. So, all right, back in February of 2022, the VA put out a publication or press release or whatever, February 15th, 2022. It says, VA proposes updates to disability rating schedules for respiratory, auditory, and mental health body systems. VA proposed changes to the VA rating schedule for disabilities, specifically pertaining to respiratory, auditory, and mental health disorder body systems. The changes would incorporate medical advancements for treating certain disabilities and modern medical knowledge to more accurately compensate veterans. The rating schedule is used to determine the appropriate level of compensation for each service-connected disability based on severity of the condition as documented by supporting medical evidence. That is a great sentence, because this is the tool that you need to work with your doctor to ensure that you get the appropriate rating. The rating schedule, right? They say it here. It is used to determine the appropriate level of compensation for each service-connected disability based on the severity of the condition as documented by supporting medical evidence, right? Can't just say it. Got to go to your doctor, and do not rely on the C&P examiner to be the person to get it all together for you. Do the footwork up front with your doctor. All right. So the VA is in process of updating all body systems in the rating schedules to reflect modern evaluative criteria, blah, blah, blah. Now, here's how many they've done. Some people think that, they're just talking. They're not going to change anything. It's a small portion of people that think that, but the reality is yes, they are changing them, and they've already changed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 over the course of the last, 6 years, I guess. Over the last 6 years, they've changed that many, and that includes rating schedules such as musculoskeletal, infectious diseases, skin, organs of special sense, as far as the eye is concerned, dental and oral. So they've done a few. All right, so they're a little more than halfway done. Now, some of the big things that they're doing in here is your COPD and asthma. It says that they're making it a little bit easier to reach the 100% rating. Not dramatically easier, a little easier. Not sure exactly where the change is, but it says for respiratory conditions such as asthma and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, the proposed rule would slightly lower the requirements for a 100% rating, which is great. However, on the flip side, they're taking away tinnitus as a standalone condition and lumping it in as a symptom of another condition. So you're not really going to get an extra 10% or have that as a standalone rating. The only thing that kind of rides that a little bit would be if you have a 0% hearing loss with tinnitus. I believe they'll still rate you 10% with the tinnitus, but that's the only exception to having that have its own 10%. Another one that they're looking to do is, which this one's really frustrating, would be the respiratory for sleep apnea. Currently, if you have sleep apnea and you're prescribed a CPAP machine, you get 50%. The proposed rule removes that. You'd be at 0% if your CPAP is working and relieving your symptoms, right? They're going to give you a 0%, which is horrible. Now, the other is and then we're almost done catching up, right? Then I'm going to jump over to the Federal Register, give you the date that all this stuff went in. Remember, this was February of 2022, the VA letting us know what's going on. So the other one is the mental health. They're going to lower the requirements, in my opinion, to reach 100%. They're going to get rid of the 0%. Instead of having one big bucket of symptoms that you need to fill to get to 100%, they're splitting it into 5 different buckets. And if you're at the maximum severity level in any one of the buckets, you are 100%. If you are level 3, which is the 4th rate, they did a 0 through 4 instead of a 1 through 5. Whatever. I like 1 through 5 better than a 0 through 4. In any case, they did a 0 through 4 severity ranking. If you have 2 3s in any of the 5, you're 100%. Now, all of this went into the Federal Register to document, everything, what's going on with the process, and to allow for public comments and so forth. They published that into the Federal Register on the same time frame, February 15th, 2022. A rule proposed by Veterans Affairs Department on 2/15/2022. Now, in this specific entry into the Federal Register, they lumped together auditory and respiratory into one kind of proposed, we're going to swoop all this stuff together. Mental health they did in a separate entry, and I believe it was on the same date. Now, if we click into the Federal Register, back 1 month ago, September 12th of 2024, it says schedule for rating disabilities, ear, nose, and throat, audiology, disabilities, special provisions regarding evaluation of respiratory conditions, schedule for rating disability respiratory system. So they included the ear, nose, throat, the audiology, and they included in the respiratory. So they got all of that lumped in here, but the date is different, right? A proposed rule by the Veterans Affairs Department on September 12th of 2024. What are they adding? Okay, What they are adding is bronchiolitis. This is the one that we've talked about for a while. And so they'll call it CB. So CB is constrictive bronchiolitis. And it says here on August 10th of 2022, the Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson, honoring our promise to address Comprehensive Toxics Act, when the public law was signed in, right? Blah, blah, blah. It goes on. And it talks about all the things that allow them to move forward with the changes they're doing for constrictive bronchiolitis. Now, it says at present, the VA does not have a specific DC, which is diagnostic code, for CB, which is constrictive bronchiolitis. When the VA encounters disabilities not listed in the rating schedules, VA rates them to a listed condition that is closely related. So basically, if your condition is not spelled out and has its own diagnostic code and rating schedule, because by the way, some have their own diagnostic code, but not an actual rating schedule. It'll say rate under this other one. So in either case, they will find something that is similar with symptoms and so forth, and then rate you on that. So it says, thus VA currently evaluates CB, constrictive bronchiolitis, under one of the closely related respiratory conditions found under 4.97 through 4.20. VA allows to appropriately evaluate CB. The addition of a unique diagnostic code will enable VA to easily track claims and decision outcomes for this condition. So there's some more information. If you or someone you know has constrictive bronchiolitis, I encourage you to read through it because this will be going into effect at some point. My guess is they're going to lump it all together, do it at one swoop, and probably have it done in April. So with that, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.